We're on top of the league, said we're on top of the league. We're on top of the league, said we're on top of the league. Come on, you Gunners. Oh, it's been a while since I could sing that comfortably, but I guess you guys can guess what's coming today. Mikel Arteta's tactics on FM23, and we've got a very interesting way of doing things today. Let's get stuck in. Welcome back to the channel, or if you're new, my name is RDF Tactics, and today we are going to be breaking down Mikel Arteta's tactics on Football Manager. How we're going to do this video, because I really want you guys to see the gameplay. So we're going to play Tottenham first in the middle of the season with 12 games in. So we're going to play Tottenham first, then we're going to break down the tactic, look at the results, and lastly, we are going to play a Europa League Final against AS Monaco. So kind of a spoiler alert. We did get to the Europa League Final. So if you believe you are going to like this video, I can't stress how important it is for you guys to like this video. It really does help this video and this channel grow. We're in a growing process. Subscribe if you like, and also leave a comment if you have any tactical recommendations for me to do next. Also, at PC Specialist, I have £30 off. So if you are on PC Specialist, you can check out the link down below. You will get £30 off all orders using the code RDF. But then again, it's all in the description. I'll see you guys in a second to play Tottenham Hotspur. So here we are for today's lineup. I mean, surprisingly, Sambi Lokonga is our DM and Granit Xhaka is on the bench. That's just for today. That is just for today. So Arsenal versus Tottenham. Team talk is all done. I've got my assistant handling all of that good stuff. So let's get stuck into this game. So we're 6 minutes in and it looks like Tottenham may have the first highlight, and it's Kulusevski at the Emirates. Let that be offside. Let that be offside. And no, it's not. It's goal awarded. Kulusevski has scored in an opening 10 minutes. Wow. Here is Arsenal with a corner. Ødegaard whips it in, and it's an equaliser. Just like that, Arsenal have pulled it back. It is now Arsenal 1, Tottenham Hotspur 1. Both goals from a set piece. This time, Ødegaard whips it in, as we can see here. Whips it in, whips it to the near post, and there's Gabriel to equalise in the North London derby. It's Arsenal 1, Tottenham 1. It seems like it's going to be another free kick. Here's Ødegaard. He's going to whip it in. Far post, and if we've knocked it in, we have knocked it in. It looks like it's going to be Thomas Partey or Gabriel Jesus. I have absolutely no idea what has just happened there. The VAR's checking the goal, though, and it's goal awarded. This is Arsenal 2. It's Thomas Partey with the goal, his second goal of the season. Saka hits the post, and I wasn't quite sure who knocked in the rebound. I mean, Gabriel Jesus' name is showing. Partey's name is showing. It seems like everyone has done it. So here's Tanganga, Eric Dyer on the ball now. He's going to play it back to Hugo Lloris. Lloris brings it out. That's winners, please. Yes, Ben White wins the ball. Thomas over the top to Granit Saka. Bukayo Saka, and he misses a very good opportunity. I mean, opening 25 minutes, we've had 12 shots, 4 on target, XG 1.99. I mean, we've hit the woodwork twice, and we've also had 2 clear cuts as well. So things are looking nice. Martinelli's looking a bit isolated out there on the left side, but, you know, that's all good. That's all good and groovy. Here's Højbjerg with the ball inside the midfield. He's bringing it forward, but Martinelli works hard to get back and gets the ball. So we are looking at some wide overloads as well, just like how Arsenal play. So if I do change this camera view to possibly to data analyst, where I mean, we can see the full pitch here, and we can just highlight Kieran Tierney, Thomas, and yeah, you can see Thomas is there, Kieran Tierney and Martinelli out on that left-hand side. And we just want to kind of see if there's any nice rotations out here on the left-hand side as well. But also, Arsenal do like to build up in a 2-3-5 shape, and we can see that clearly here. Saliba on the ball, Gabriel, DM, Sambi Lokonga, Kieran Tierney, and there is also Ben White, the right back. Here is the Arsenal 2-3-5 shape playing out in the match engine. Well, the 5 is here as well. Martinelli, Thomas Partey as he's playing central midfield, Gabriel Jesus and Ødegaard. I do believe Ødegaard or Saka can be a little bit more narrow there. But here's Lokonga on the ball, plays it back to Gabriel. Hopefully you guys can see the ball. If not, let me change this camera angle. So here's Thomas Partey, Gabriel. I'm liking this camera angle so far. Here's Gabriel over the top to Thomas Partey, who is running down into that channel, which would be Granit Xhaka for Arsenal. A lot of us have seen Granit Xhaka play a little higher up for the Arsenal, for the Gunners, and this is kind of the role here. So here's Thomas Partey, who is replicating or playing in that Xhaka role for this game. He's out on that wide left-hand side, and he doesn't just stop there. No, he runs into the channel, and he's looking to penetrate as well. So he's running down the flank, pulls it back. Kieran Tierney, oh, beauty. So we do have a corner, but we can't, free kick, but we can't see it, sorry. Odegaard whips it in, far post, and is headed out by Bentancur. Kulusevski on the counter-attack, but Saliba is working hard, tracking back. Ben White lobs it over the top. Oh, Bukayo Saka, Gabriel Jesus. VAR, don't ruin this. Come on, you Gunners. It's Arsenal 3, Tottenham 1. I believe Tottenham actually have a caretaker manager for this game, so it might explain a lot what's happening right now. But that is 3-1 to the Gunners. Again, working these wider overloads. Here's Saka, Ben White, and Odegaard. In real life, I believe Zinchenko plays a lot more narrow. It's actually been Tomiyasu in the more recent weeks. Zinchenko came back for the Chelsea game, but it was Tomiyasu in more recent weeks playing that left-hand sided role where he's really inverted, he's really narrow, whereas Ben White is more aggressive. Earlier on in the season, we didn't really see much overlaps. We didn't really see Ben White overlapping Saka, and in previous seasons, I believe that's what helped Saka's form. This year, Ben White is fairly new to this role, playing at right back, but I feel he's grown into it. And the more he playing, the more we kind of see this movement of Ben White trying to overlap Saka. It just allows Saka to come inside and so on to occupy that wider area. But they've got a player sent off. Ivan Perisic has been sent off. He's lost his head in the North London derby. And yeah, this is game over. But it could get worse for Tottenham here. Here's Romero, Højbjerg, Eric Dyer on the ball. Plays it to Romero, Højbjerg, Bentancur. Oh, that's a lovely pass to Son. Son cuts inside. Hey. So here's Arsenal building out from the back again. And we kind of see have a 2-3-5, but Granit Xhaka or Thomas Partey is a bit deep in his role, which, again, you will kind of see. Granit Xhaka isn't just always advanced. He still drops back. He's still involved in the play, and he still helps the progress and the build-up play. So hopefully we get to see that in this little highlight. Here's Martinelli, actually. And he allows Thomas Partey to overlap. But what a pass to Saka. Nods it down to Jesus, but I believe that one will be called off and disallowed. That one looks like it was offside. Surely it was offside. 100. Yeah, good goal disallowed. So it is halftime at the Emirates. Arsenal 3, Tottenham 1. Gabriel, Thomas Partey, and Gabriel Jesus on the score sheet for the Gunners. Hopefully we get more of the same in the second half. We've also had 62% of the ball so far. Let's go for the second half. More of that in the second half. Please, Arsenal, please. It looks like Tottenham are just going to defend this half. They're just going to defend. They are not coming out to play at all. There hasn't been a single highlight in this second half so far. I don't know how Tottenham have done this. It's absolute masterclass in the second half from Tottenham here. Here's Hugo Lloris, kicks it long. Delphi wins the header, but nods it, well, to Ben White. Ben White to Odegaard now. Here is Saka on the ball. Not to get confused with Granit again. Here's Gabriel Jesus running inside the box. He's going to pull it back, surely. Edge of the box, Thomas Partey wraps up the game. Home time. It's Arsenal 4, Tottenham 1. And guess what? North London is red. Come on, you boys. Gabriel Jesus. Sorry, guys. I'm getting a bit too happy. If you're a Gunner, then you would get the excitement right now. You will get the excitement. I can't even talk. That's how excited I am. But Thomas Partey has made it 4. Oh no. It's another highlight. Here's Bentancur on the ball. Kulusevski. Oof. We almost got there. Kulusevski again. He's one player at Tottenham that I can rate. Him and Harry Kane, possibly Son. Delphi, good save. And that wraps up the game. A very convincing win for Arsenal. 4 for Arsenal and 1 for the Tottenham. 59% of the ball. Very nice performance. But that was just the one game. Now what we are going to do is break down the tactic, look at the results, and then also I will be back for the Europa League Final. I'll see you guys. Arsenal like controlling the game through possession. Mikel Arteta is an advocate of the positional play approach where the team in possession can take up positions across the pitch to attempt to create numerical advantages. Arsenal's attacking players will rotate positions and move from zone to zone in the final third. This movement is triggered by their teammates' movements and the area the ball is moved. The purpose of this is to disrupt the other team's defensive shape. As Arsenal are keeping possession more than their opponents, they have fewer opportunities to counter-attack in a match. Therefore, to assess how well Arteta's positional play approach is working, we look at the efficiency of the positional attacks. A positional attack is any attack that is not a counter-attack. An approach used by Arsenal in the build-up phase, instead of Ben White and Zinchenko sitting in the wider channels positionally, they come inside and sit along Thomas Partey in midfield. This forms a 2-3 shape during the build-up, something that we saw in Football Manager. Having the 2-3 structure with set fullbacks coming inside allows the two central midfielders to push forward and become influential in the attacking line. For Arsenal, the two players tend to be Granit Xhaka and Martin Ødegaard. Both players have been given complete freedom by Mikel Arteta to go and be influential in the second build-up phase and the final third. Arsenal's pressing efficiency this season stands out at 55% and is the 4th highest in the league. The shape they defend in resembles that of a 3-2-3-2 shape or a hybrid 3-5-2 shape. The reason for this is so that they can funnel the opposition play down one side. That analysis was written by Christopher Winter on the Total Football website, so make sure you go and check that out. The link will be in the description. But now I have to show you guys something intriguing which helped me figure out the player roles, the formation and all that good stuff. Now let's go in to Football Manager. So here we are for the Mikel Arteta tactics in Football Manager. As you can see, well, you can't actually see, but I do have technically four different tactics. I say technically four. For the main one, you can see in brackets, it says positional play. In transition, you do have the option to press counter or not use counter. To be honest, I use counter attack because I just like the counter attacking option. But if you want that positional play, that real positional play, then just don't use it. I didn't use it in the Tottenham game, but I did use it in the main test. But yeah, so use counter if you want to have the counter attacking. But if you want that realism, then if you want that positional play, you just don't have to use the counter attacking option whatsoever. But what I have noticed is that you don't fully take advantage of any space once you've won the ball. Some players are just a bit too relaxed in breaking forward. So when it came to picking the roles and duties, there is a great analyst out there which helped me a lot. So on Twitter, you'll be able to find them as Mark R Stats. Here we can see the passing network of the most recent game, Chelsea versus Arsenal. This was Arsenal's main shape between the first and the 79th minute. I believe that's when Arsenal made their first substitution. We can see Saliba's actually a cover, which is something that I didn't pick up at the time. But on the left hand side, we can see how Zinchenko is a little bit more narrow than Ben White. Ben White has pushed up a little bit more, but with Ben White pushing up a little bit more, it also forcing Saka to push up a little bit more, and Ødegaard is slightly shifted over to that right hand side, and we can see a nice little triangle between Ben White, Ødegaard and Granit Xhaka. Similar is happening on the left hand side, but just deeper on the left hand side, where we can see Zinchenko, Granit Xhaka and Martin Ødegaard, Gabriel Martinelli forming a triangle of some sort. And then we've got Gabriel Jesus linking up play in the attacking third, and in a deeper third we have Thomas Partey. For the progressive passes, where do Arsenal attempt to penetrate? Well, where did they attempt to penetrate Chelsea? We can see mainly in those half spaces. The half space for Arsenal is really important. So we can see Arsenal attempting to penetrate through those half spaces, but you can also see here as well, there's a little pink dotted line, and that is representing crosses. And we can also see as well, so it's not directly in that wide area, but it's also not down the byline. It's actually kind of around that half space. So Arsenal are really looking to unlock opponents by using that half space. Again, when it comes to all passes, just look at Chelsea's passes, how deep to the right it is compared to Arsenal, where we can see again those half spaces, light blue on the left hand side, gold on the right hand side. We can kind of see how Arsenal were using that half space against Chelsea. And lastly, before we look at the roles in the game, we can see here territories of control. So this is where Arsenal and the Arsenal players were operating out of possession, but we will go to that after. kind of briefly, but in possession is what we really want to look at. Martinelli on the left-hand side is covering a lot of the left-hand side for me. It's kind of telling me that he's kind of acting as a supporting act. Zinchenko deeper on the left-hand side as well. Whereas Saka on the right-hand side, for me, he was more penetrating against Chelsea. And you can see he was more focused on his right-hand side, his area, his territory. Gabriel Jesus is moving and roaming around in that attacking third. Martin Odegaard, again, operating in that right half space. Now we're looking for Granit Xhaka. It's the same, but Granit Xhaka, like I said in the match and Football Manager, Granit Xhaka is involved a lot in deeper and advanced, and we can see here with his shape how high he has been, but also how deep he has been as well, collecting the ball off players like Zinchenko and Gabriel, but also helping the link up in the attacking third of Jesus and Martinelli. And then we've got Partey in the middle, just controlling the game completely. You can kind of figure out roles and duties at least by just looking at the territories of control on this map here, but also out of possession as well. You can see how hard Ben White had to work down that right hand flank and how much Saliba was actually covering. So there's a mistake, because in Football Manager I don't have Saliba as a cover, which is something that we can easily correct. But now let's look at the roles in Football Manager. So this is the tactic in Football Manager. In goal we do have a super keeper on attack, Aaron Ramsdale. Left back, inverted wing back on support. On the right hand side we do have a wing back on support as well. If you'd like, you could ask him to sit more narrow. At the back we do have a ball playing defender on defend, another one we could have that on cover to try and replicate that William Saliba role. In midfield we do have a defensive midfielder on support for Granit Xhaka. I've actually put him as a box-to-box midfielder, as we saw with the territories, how involved he is with the deeper play and how involved he is with the attacking play. I could have easily used a Mazzala, but I felt that the Mazzala kind of just, he business with himself in the attacking third, not so much in the deeper areas. But we do have stay wider, get further forward and run wide with the ball, because we do want to operate and penetrate in that half space. On the right hand side we've got a Mazzala on support. We all know by now how he likes to operate in the half space. On the right hand side we do have an inside forward on attack. I'm asking him to stay wider. He's just going to be penetrating. He's going to be penetrating. That's his main focus. Attack, get on, overlap the deep line forward, make runs for the Mazzala, link up with the wing back on support on the right hand side. Whereas on the left hand side we do have Gabriel Martinelli, more of the supporting act. Again, more linking play, dropping deep, helping Zinchenko, helping Granit Xhaka. Lastly, up top we do have Gabriel Jesus as a deep line forward. We could have possibly used a pressing forward, but we wanted to capture that Gabriel Jesus dropping deep and linking up play. For the team mentality and the instructions, positive mentality for the instructions, not many. We just got shorter passing and slightly higher tempo. That is it. In transition, counter press and counter. If you want that true positional play, you just remove that if you like. And out of possession we do have a high press, standard defensive line, trigger press are much more often. Now I just felt this for me was a Football Manager instruction. That is purely it. Get stuck in and much more often is purely down to Football Manager and how I feel. I just want my players to close down the opposition, like you saw in the Tottenham game where you saw Ben White tracking back, we saw Martinelli tracking back, we saw players tracking back trying to recover the ball, and I felt the trigger press are much more often really helps with that. For the second tactic, it's a positional play, but again with central midfielder on attack, so it's slightly different. Without the Mazzala, now we're trying to grab a goal. If you really want to go, you can have the inside forward on attack, central midfielder on attack, all of these players on attack. We're really going for a goal. Lastly, we do have a mid block. Now Arsenal aren't necessarily the greatest high pressing team. They don't always operate in a high press as well, so we do have a mid block version as well. It's effectively the same as the first one. So just imagine you're in game, you've taken a lead, or you're actually, the match momentum is going towards the opponent. You can just flick to a mid block and try and regain some composure and control over the game. So that there wraps up the player roles and the tactics. You have 3 different ones this time, 3 different ones, and when it comes to player instructions there isn't a lot. Again, it's just the 2 wingers staying wider and Granit Xhaka running wide with the ball, getting further forward and staying wider. If you want, you can ask Ben White to sit more narrow, and you can have Saliba on ball playing defensive cover. So that's that wrapped up. It's now time to look at the results very briefly. What results did we get using these trio of tactics? But also we have to play the Europa League Final against AS Monaco. Let's go. So here we are. We finished second, as you can see, in the Premier League, 92 points. That's a lot of points, but of course, Liverpool with 94. Yeah, they done better. We had the chance to beat Liverpool. Actually, we drew. Well, I say we had the chance. Liverpool were clearly the better team, even with Kelleher in goal. No Alisson in goal for Liverpool, but they managed to get a 2-2 result. So looking at the schedule in the Premier League, we had Gabriel Jesus score 33 goals as a deep line forward. Bukayo Saka with 7.55 average rating. Martin Odegaard with the most assists in the league. We did score the most goals in the league as well with 100 goals. When it comes to the average possession, we were averaging 58% of the ball. Goals, Jesus, Saka in the top 8 for the assists. Saka again in the top 8 with Martin Odegaard. Jesus and Saka in the top 8 for the most shots. 4 player of the match awards, again Jesus and Saka. Saka had a really good season. Key passes, Martin Odegaard. Clean sheets, Ramsdale drops down to 13th, and for the fewest conceded, Ramsdale with 32 goals conceded. So in the data hub, looking at the XG table, we were expected to score 80 goals. We actually overperformed by 20. Expected points 76. We got actual 92 points. Expected to finish third. We actually finished in second place. So we are kind of overachieving of what's expected, well, what we're expected to do this season. So that is the stats and all the good stuff wrapped up. Well, we can look at the schedule as well, the competitions. In the Europa League, we have to play that final. In the FA Cup, we got knocked out in the quarterfinal. In the Carabao Cup, we got knocked out in the 4th round. But we do have a Europa League final to play. We are the home side against Monaco. I know it's a neutral event, but if you play Football Manager, you just have that feeling. If you're on the left-hand side, you're the home team. If you're on the right-hand side, you're the away team. That's just the feeling. But we are now going to play this Europa League final. So this is the team for the Europa League final. In goal, Ramsdale, Zinchenko at left back, Gabriel Saliba at the back, Ben White as the right back, Samuel Lokonga as the DM. I mean, he kind of made this role himself, or he kind of made this role his, and Partey has taken Granit Xhaka. Martin Odegaard as the Mazzala on the right hand side, and yeah, the front three as usual. But today we are going to try and use a cover and Ben White sitting more narrow, and we're just going to see how that rolls out. So let's have a go. I mean, if we're looking at Monaco's bench here, I'm seeing Seamus Coleman and Michael Keane. Honestly, if we do not win this, I am not going to be a happy bunny. Coleman and Michael Keane on the Monaco bench. Here are the teams now coming out of the tunnel. It's a big game. Arsenal in the European final. Again, we was just in it a few years ago. We didn't win. Yes, I know we got smashed by Chelsea. But today, it's all about redemption. It's all about redemption. And it's kickoff. And it's live. So here's Ben White with a throw-in. Throws it to Saka. Ben White travelling down the byline. He whips it in. Martinelli heads it. And it's good save. It's a good save from the AS Monaco goalkeeper. Odegaard about to whip this in. He does. And straight into the goalkeeper's hands once again. So here's Ben White with another throw-in down that right-hand side, but Saka fails to control this. Badashile running out. Put the pressure on him. Put the pressure. It's Malangsa. Okay, that makes sense. Here's Badashile. Badashile on him, boys. Kamara. Oh, they've done absolutely well there. But Odegaard wins the ball back. Harden working hard for the Gunners. Here's Saka inside the box. Oh, that might be a penalty. It looks very, very soft. But Gabriel Jesus is about to step up for a penalty in the Europa League final. Jesus! And it's 1-0. There was going to be no other result. The 48th goal of the season for Gabriel Jesus. What a pen. What a pen. What a guy. Oh, here's Monaco with a highlight now. Aguila whips it in with a throw-in. Ooh, is that a penalty? No. Here's Volland. Aguila again down the right-hand side. He's going to whip this in. Good defending by Saliba. Oh, Aguila. Oh, Diatta. He should have scored. It's straight into Ramsdale's arms. And it looks like the highlight is still going to go on, to be fair. Ramsdale kicks it long. Soleil wins that. He's going to win that all day if we continue to do that. There's Volland, but Lokonga wins the ball. That's why Lokonga's in the team. Here's Saka. He's surely going to play Martinelli. Martinelli brings it back. Oh, unlucky, son. And now we've got a trap back. Here's Minamino. On the attack, Saliba covering up the play. Here's Gabriel Jesus now running at the Monaco defense. Very direct. He's getting inside the box. He pulls it back into Martinelli. It's 2-0 to the Gunners in the Europa League final. It's 2-3. Surely we're about to pick up our European trophy today. Here's Gabriel Jesus. He's running. What absolute fantastic play by Gabriel Jesus, by the way. Fantastic play, and what a finish. What a guy. I've said that about 3 times, but what a guy. Whew. Martin Ødegaard with a corner. Gabriel's hit the bar. And Sars cleared the ball off the line as well. It's absolute mayhem. And that wraps up the first half. It's Arsenal 2 and Monaco 0. Arsenal 11 shots, 7 on target, XG 2.10. But similar like the game against Tottenham, 61% of the ball. Thank God Golovin and Ben Yedder are injured because, yeah, thank God that will make their team a lot better. Now, I have noticed, I'm not sure if anybody else has noticed this as well, but my fullbacks tend to get very low ratings. Though Ben White is on a 7, Zinchenko's on a 6.6, man. Here's Aguila. Embolo. Martinelli wins the ball. Ref. Here's Thomas Partey now. Saka. Here's Arsenal on the break. Lovely free ball to Gabriel Jesus. Please smash this. He does. It's free. Everything is falling into place for the Gunners. It's Arsenal 3, Monaco 0. Great us winning the ball back there. Saka, lovely ball. Almost intercepted. Possibly should have been intercepted. You could say poor defending by Badashile there, and it's 3-0 to the Gunners. So now we've kind of got our result, well, we've got a highlight there. We can now actually switch to the mid block. So we switched to the mid block, and we're going to take Lokonga off because he's on a yellow. Oh, actually, we could just do that. We could just bring El Nene on. See, El Nene has really good stats for gegenpressing. He does. He has really good attributes for attributes, not stats, for gegenpressing. Left back, we're going to bring on Ryle Walters. I have no idea how you're going to play as the inverted wing back on the left-hand side, but considering you want the experience, I'll give you the experience. Oh, Martinelli he's hit the woodwork. He has hit the woodwork. I mean, in these last 2 games that we've played, we hit the woodwork twice against Tottenham, and now we've hit the woodwork twice against Monaco as well. Yeah. Monaco haven't had a sniff at goal. Just 2 shots, 1 on target, and 1 off target. But they've created no scoring chances, and Arsenal have breezed through this game. Here's Walters on the ball, El Nene, and here's kind of our 2-3 shape once again. Walters, El Nene, White, and then you've got our 2 centre-backs, Saliba and Gabriel. Thomas Partey, kind of Granit Xhaka dropping deep to link up play. Also, Gabriel Jesus trying to link up play as well, but El Nene just whips it out into that far channel. Here's Ødegaard, whips it in. Martinelli, please volley that. Oh, far post, Saka, it's beautiful. It's beautiful. Saka's 23rd goal of the season is Arsenal 4, Monaco 0. And this Europa League final has it's been one-way traffic all game. It has been a very, very confident performance by the Gunners. There's Martinelli at the far post. Brilliant stuff. It's a corner. It cannot be 5, can it? Ødegaard whips it in. And we've hit the woodwork again. You just wouldn't believe that we did. We've hit the woodwork 3 times today. You wouldn't believe so. You wouldn't believe so. And that, unfortunately, wait, that's not going to wrap up today's video because we want to see Arsenal lift up the trophy, don't we? So come on, boys. I mean, Arteta can't do it. Well, maybe he can do it this year. Emery couldn't do it. Wenger couldn't do it. RDF is in the building. Hey! Playing the Arteta way. I know it's just Football Manager, but hopefully you guys have enjoyed that video. If you have, I'm going to need you to like that video, or this video. I'm going to need you to subscribe as well. But also leave a comment if you have any tactical recommendations. Also, at PC Specialist, you get £30 off on all orders. Doesn't that sound nice? I will see you guys soon. Stay safe. God bless. Peace out.